What's up, everybody? The man from Jersey back at it. In this video, I'm going to be naming 10 more teams I'd like to see added in NBA 2K20. If you guys saw my previous video, you'd know my top 10 teams I'd like to see added from the 2000s. In this video, I'll be naming the top 10 teams from the 2010s that I'd like to see added in the next 2K game. Remember, these teams are not in order of ranking, but just in chronological order by year. Without further ado, let's get started. Next, we have the 2013 Los Angeles Lakers. Now, before I get killed with the dislikes, let's be honest, this team would be amazingly fun to play with in 2K, and what they did in real life would not affect them in the game. During the 2012 offseason, the Lakers, no longer looking like title contenders, swung for the fences. They acquired two all-star caliber players in Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, while only really losing a washed-up Andrew Bynum. However, the Lakers season was one of the best soap operas in the league during the season. From the death of owner Jerry Buss in February of that season, to the constant bickering between Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, and Dwight Howard, at times, this Lakers team looked like they would not even qualify for the playoffs. It took everything in Kobe Bryant's tank to wheel this team to the playoffs. However, Kobe Bryant would tear his Achilles tendon in the 80th game of the regular season against the Golden State Warriors. Bryant would miss the rest of the regular season and playoffs, and the 45-win Lakers would get swept in the first round by the San Antonio Spurs. This season would prove to be Kobe Bryant's last all-star caliber season, as his numbers and percentages would spiral downward over the next 3 seasons before his retirement in 2016. This Lakers squad will also be the last Lakers squad to qualify for the playoffs with Kobe Bryant as a member of the roster. While this Lakers team underperformed in real life, you can't deny that a starting five of Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Metta World Peace, Pau Gasol, and Dwight Howard wouldn't be fun to play with. And even if you wouldn't find this team fun to play with, the 2013 Lakers should be added to 2K20 out of respect for the legacy of Kobe Bryant. Next, we have the 2014 Nets. This Nets team was basically the 2013 Lakers of the East. After only their first season in Brooklyn, the Nets went all in with their attempt at competing for a title. On draft night 2013, the Nets would send 4 unprotected first-round picks and a plethora of expandable players to the Boston Celtics for a 37-year-old Kevin Garnett and a 35-year-old Paul Pierce. This trade gave the Nets a championship-contending squad on paper, and with good reason. The Nets had a starting five of Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Brook Lopez, and were coached by Jason Kidd, arguably the most significant Net in franchise history, as he led the Nets to back-to-back NBA Finals appearances in 2002 and 2003. So, what's not to love? The Nets had high expectations for this team and looked to knock off the Miami Heat and advance to the NBA Finals. However, the season was filled with turmoil. The Nets got off to a slow start on the season, which was made even worse on December 21st when Brook Lopez went down with a season-ending injury in a game against the Philadelphia 76ers. By the end of 2013, the Nets had a record of 10-21. The Nets would pick it up as the season went on and would finish the season at 44-38, which was far from their early season expectations. During that season, the chemistry was off and several stars bickered amongst one another. In the playoffs, the Nets would defeat the Raptors in a hard-fought 7-game series that came down to the final seconds when Paul Pierce blocked Kyle Lowry's potential game-winning shot. However, the Nets would soon find out that their chances of dethroning the Heat were harder than they expected, as they would fall to the Heat in the Eastern Conference semifinals in 5 games. While this Nets team underperformed, much like the Lakers from the season prior, you can't say you wouldn't want to pick up your remote and play with a team that had a starting lineup of Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Brook Lopez, even if some of these players were past their primes. Not to mention this Nets team has solid bench players in Sean Livingston, yes, before he went to Golden State, Mirza Teletovic, Mason Plumlee, Andrei Kirilenko, Marcus Thornton, and Andre Bloch. Next, we have the 2014 San Antonio Spurs. To keep it a stack, I should have mentioned the 03 Spurs in my 2000s teams, but that's a different topic. Coming off a season where they let an NBA title slip out of their fingers, the 2014 Spurs were a team seeking revenge. For the most part, the 2014 Spurs were the same team as the season before, but with redemption on their mind. During the regular season, the Spurs were fantastic as usual, winning 62 games and earning home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs. In the playoffs, the Spurs would survive a hard-fought 7-game series against the Dallas Mavericks in round 1. From there on, the Spurs would have no trouble on their quest to their 5th title. They would beat the Blazers and Thunder in 5 and 6 games respectively before dismantling the Miami Heat in the 2014 NBA Finals. The Spurs would win the series in 5 games, with the Heat's only win being a 2-point Game 2 victory. In contrast, the Spurs would win their 4 games by an average of 18 points, with Game 5 being decided by 17 points. This season would also mark the breakout of Kawhi Leonard, as he was awarded the Finals MVP award. To date, this is the Spurs' final championship team in their franchise's history and should be given the proper recognition. Next up, we have the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I understand the 2016 Warriors inclusion in the 2K games. They won an NBA record 73 games. They had the unanimous MVP in Steph Curry and are arguably one of the best teams in franchise history. But with all that said, they are still the only team in league history to blow a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals when they lost to the Cavaliers in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. With that said, why don't the 2016 Cavaliers get any love in 2K? The 2016 Cavaliers won their only championship in franchise history, and in historic fashion too. Not only did the Cavs erase a 3-1 lead, but they also ended a 52-year drought where none of the 3 major professional franchises in Cleveland won a championship. LeBron James secured his 3rd title and last to date, and this Cavs team produced some of the more iconic moments in finals history. From LeBron's chase down block on Iguodala, and Kyrie Irving's cold-blooded 3-pointer over Steph Curry with under a minute to play, which proved to be the clinching shot. Overall, I think this Cavaliers team should get just as much recognition as the 16 Warriors did. I mean, 73-9 just doesn't have a ring to it, right? And lastly, we have the 2016 Oklahoma City Thunder. The 2016 Thunder finished the regular season with a record of 55-27 and even knocked out the 67-win Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. However, a few weeks prior to the Warriors blowing a 3-1 lead to the Cavs in the NBA Finals, these Thunder would blow a 3-1 lead to those very same Warriors in what would prove to be Kevin Durant's final playoff series in the Thunder uniform. While the Thunder couldn't get it done, can we at least give them some credit for going up 3-1 on a historic 73-win team? While there isn't much validity in this statement, when interviewed by Power 105.1's The Breakfast Club, Warriors small forward and 2015 Finals MVP Andre Iguodala stated that the OKC Thunder were the best team in the league that season and should have won the championship.
They were the best team last year in the league. They should have won a championship.
The Thunder had a solid starting 5 of Russell Westbrook, Andre Roberson, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, and Steven Adams, while also having solid bench players in Enes Kanter and Dion Waiters. Let me know in the comments below if I left off any teams or which teams you would like removed from this list. Let's get an overall good discussion going on. Let's just be respectful with it. We're all grown-ups here. With all that said, like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy your day. Stay blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.